Yeah. Analytics off the chain, other channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game.
I'm a headliner.
What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there today as we are T-minus 24 hours and counting from the time that I can stuff my face with some stuffing, and I am looking forward to it. In case you couldn't tell, I'm pretty pumped up about it. But we're going to be talking about our top 20 quarterbacks and our top 40 running backs here today for Week 12 fantasy football. Now, as you've noticed, this is now our 7th video in 3 days this week, completing the cycle of starts and sits and rankings to make sure that you have everything you need before the Thanksgiving Day games kick off. So hit the like button if you appreciate the hard, quick work here this week. Now, typically, we're going to have, injury update shows, and we're going to have the weekend tailgate. Not this week, though. We're giving everybody the rest of the week pretty much off so they can enjoy some time with their family. I think that's super important this time of year, so I'm not going to overwork these guys during the holiday season. However, me and Kyle will still be live streaming on Saturday evening, so make sure you check us out there. And we're going to post things on the community tab, on our Twitters, with injury updates, weather updates, so you still have all the information that you need. But typically in this show, we give something away from the week prior. That's not going to change. It's Thanksgiving. I got to give something away, and I got something pretty sexy here today. This right here is a mystery pylon. I don't even know what it is. Where's it at? Mystery box. This is one of those orange pylons like you see right there from Barry Sanders. I don't know who signed this one. It's a signed mystery pylon, and I'm going to give it away to somebody who leaves a comment down below and hits that like button, and I'll announce a winner during our Saturday night live stream. Looking forward to giving that away. Those are so cool. That's got to be one of the coolest pieces of memorabilia because you don't see a whole lot of people with it. But now's the time we're going to go ahead and dive into our rankings here. We're going to kick it off with our top 20 quarterbacks. And we're going to try something different here for Week 12. A brand new number 1 overall quarterback here. It's kind of been the kiss of death for whoever I put at the top because they haven't finished as the number 1 quarterback here in a couple weeks. But you know what? Thomas Brady, the GOAT himself, is going on top of this list here. A matchup this week, a good matchup for him. Going up against the Indianapolis Colts and having Gronk back really helps this overall offense. Love what I see. Got Tom Brady number 1. Number 2, Lamar Jackson should be back and healthy and playing this weekend. They have themselves a matchup going up against the Cleveland Browns Sunday Night Football. A lot easier to throw on Cleveland than run on Cleveland, but we know Lamar has that rushing upside himself. Got him at number 2. Number 3, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, with a matchup going up against the New Orleans Saints. A great matchup for Josh Allen, but lately the Bills just look busted, right? They just look like something is not clicking there in Buffalo, and they're really struggling week to week. So that's why I got Josh Allen dropped down a couple spots here to number 3. Number 4, Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles. This guy doesn't even hardly have to throw the ball on a weekly basis, and he can still go up there and put up quarterback 1 numbers. That's how much he's utilizing the rushing attack on the ground with his own legs. Anything you get in the passing game is a bonus, and he's got the Giants this week. Got him sitting right here at quarterback 4. Number 5, then, Justin Herbert. Actually, you know what? I got my stuffing shirt on. We're close to Thanksgiving. I'm feeling fancy right now. It's Justin Herbert today because he's got himself a matchup going up against the Denver Broncos, and this dude put up almost 500 total yards just last week. We saw him also rush for 90 yards. Is that something that maybe see going forward a little bit? Maybe not to that extent, but if we can get 30 yards a game and a bonus 3 points a week from our quarterback and rushing stats, I will absolutely take it. Plus, love seeing them get Mike Williams back involved. Got Justin Herbert at number 5. Number 6, Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys. There's rumors surrounding, CeeDee Lamb that he could clear concussion protocol and make it back in time for the Thursday day game against the Las Vegas Raiders. That's kind of why I have Dak sitting right here at 6. If we do not have CeeDee Lamb and he is ruled out, I will probably drop Dak down a couple spots there in the rankings. He'll probably still be inside the top 12, but maybe not this high. He really needs weapons because he still doesn't have Amari Cooper, and that matchup going up against Las Vegas is just so good. If he has some weapons, he can put up some numbers. Got him at number 6. On to number 7 then is Cam Newton, Carolina Panthers, a matchup for them going up against the Miami Dolphins, so a great matchup for Cam. And this is one of those things where even though the Carolina Panthers may not win a ton of games down the stretch, Cam Newton is going to score fantasy points with his feet and his arm. He's not going to throw the ball deep down the field, but he's going to dominate the underneath routes to the likes of DJ Moore and even Christian McCaffrey, really giving him a safe ceiling. Plus, we know about that rushing upside. Got him at 7. Number 8, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, a slightly difficult matchup for him going up against the Los Angeles Angeles Rams. And right now, Rodgers dealing with a form of a turf toe injury, which he calls very painful. We saw him with that very painful injury go out there and put up big numbers last week, and they're going to continue to need him on the field with no Aaron Jones to try to keep winning ball games in Green Bay. So that's why I got him sitting right here at number 8. Number 9, his opponent in that game is going to be Matthew Stafford, a fun game to watch. Another one of these offenses has kind of struggled here a little bit. Coming off the bye week, can they right the ship in a potential shootout against Green Bay? Got Stafford at 9. Which takes us down to number 10, which is Russell Wilson's Seattle Seahawks Monday Night Football against the Washington Football Team. Listen, I know, I hear you. Russell Wilson is struggling right now, but this is just what the doctor ordered going up against the Washington Football Team, which allow right around 697 points a week to opposing quarterbacks. Sure, I exaggerated that just a little bit, but it's a great matchup for Russell Wilson to get back on track and find that deep ball to DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett in primetime TV. Got him at number 10. Down to 11 now, it's Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings. They're going up against the San Francisco 49ers, a team that's playing a lot better on both sides of the football here as of late, but Kirk Cousins is super consistent. And when you have the likes of Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, and Adam Thielen, you know you have that touchdown upside on a weekly basis. That's why I got him still sitting right here inside the top 12 at number 11. Number 12, Joey B, the Tiger King, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals. They're going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a game in which Joe Burrow found some success against Pittsburgh back in week 3, I believe it was. And this is another one of those offenses that's kind of been struggling here as of late. They are too talented. They have too many weapons, and in a potential game where they're going to have to go back and forth with Big Ben, because honestly, Big Ben looking a little bit better. They're moving the ball through the air. That's why I got Joe B right here at number 12. Which puts us at 13, which is Derek Carr, Las Vegas Raiders, playing that Thanksgiving Day game against the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Not an ideal matchup here this week for Derek Carr, but it is an offense that's really struggling to move the ball on the ground. What that means, they're going to have to utilize their weapons more through the air with Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. For the love of God, can you utilize Bryan Edwards a little bit more? The upside is there, and an offense is going to have to throw. Got Derek Carr at 13. 14, Carson Wentz, Indianapolis Colts. They're going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it's a lot easier to throw on Tampa Bay than it is to run on Tampa Bay. And Carson Wentz has been one of the most reliable quarterbacks for majority of the season. He's not out there turning the ball over. He's limiting his interceptions, and he has enough weapons in this offense to go out on a weekly basis and put up a solid number. It may not be huge QB1 numbers, but in a game in which Tom Brady's probably going to put some points on the board, Carson Wentz going to have to continue to throw, and that's why I got him sitting at 14. 15 then, Jimmy Garoppolo, San Francisco 49ers in a matchup going up against the Minnesota Vikings, an offense that just looks so much better when George Kittle is healthy and active. And the way that they're utilizing Deebo Samuel here, it really makes Jimmy G safe on a weekly basis. His ceiling, not overly high. And that's why he's not really higher here in the standings. He's a guy that's going to hover right around 18 fantasy points a week, and he's still startable here. Love the offense, love the matchup. We got Jimmy G at 15. 16, Mac Money Jones, New England Patriots. This is a great matchup for Mac Jones going up against the Tennessee Titans, who have struggled here as of late. And Mac Jones is another guy who's not going to blow you away on the stat sheet, but he's going to be efficient. He's not going to turn the ball over as often. He's going to be protected. It's going to be a team that dominates on the ground, but he kind of dinks and dunks through the air enough to give you a solid floor. That's why I got him at 16. 17, Taylor Heineke, Washington Football Team, playing Monday Night Football against the Seattle Seahawks, going to be at home, is Taylor Heineke, and he's really another one of these guys that surprises people every single week. Doesn't have an abundance of weapons, but he does get back Logan Thomas this week, and that's why I got him sitting at 17. 18 may be a surprise to some. It's Tyrod Taylor, Houston Texans, but he's going up against the New York Jets, and you know the Jets allow points to everybody. And right now, Tyrod Taylor kind of slots into that category of another one of those quarterbacks that's going to utilize his legs so often throughout the game that it gives him that safe floor, and that's why he's at 18. 19 is Big Ben, Pittsburgh Steelers. Kind of mentioned him a little bit earlier. He's looked great the last couple of weeks. Is this kind of what we're going to see going forward? A little bit more attention to the passing game? Kind of hate it for Najee owners because it could limit some of his touches, but we'll take checkdowns too. So Big Ben sitting right here at number 19, which means we'll end it up here at number 20, which is going to be Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins, going up against the Carolina Panthers. Kind of a hit and miss defense in Carolina, but Tua's been pretty consistent here, coming back off of the broken finger. He's got plenty of weapons to throw to in this offense, and if Cam can continue to put up numbers, so is Tua. That's why I got him sitting here at number 20. But now is the time that we transition from quarterbacks and we go over to running backs. You know, those guys that just grab their balls, they hold them super tight, and they run through the smallest of holes sometimes. We're talking about our top 40 running backs here for Week 12 fantasy football, kicking it off number 1. And I know. I want to put Jonathan Taylor here, but Christian McCaffrey against the Miami Dolphins is almost just, it's just almost too much to overlook, right? Christian McCaffrey still out there putting up points in a great matchup. Number 2 then is Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, this guy is on another level, but he does have a more difficult matchup. Not that I'm worried about it. I mean, the dude just ran all over the Buffalo Bills. I'm sure he could do the same to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but like I said, the matchup for McCaffrey was just enough for me to bump him one spot. So we'll look at number 3 here then. That's Austin Eckler, Los Angeles Chargers, a matchup going up against the Denver Broncos. Not the easiest of matchups, but Austin Eckler is so efficient right now. He's utilized on the ground. He's utilized through the air, and this dude just seems to find the end zone. He loves fantasy football. He tells his owners to get ready for more, and I believe him. So he's sitting right here at number 3. 4 is going to be Dalvin Cook, Minnesota Vikings, going up against the San Francisco 49ers, and even though Dalvin Cook's not getting the usage in the passing game that we wanted coming into the season, he's still one of those guys that's one play away from giving you a huge fantasy day in a matchup that's pretty difficult going up against the San Francisco 49ers. You can't put Dalvin Cook too low, so I got him sitting right here at number 4. Number 5, Najee Harris, Pittsburgh Steelers, going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. And for Najee, it's one of those things kind of I mentioned with quarterbacks, right? Maybe we see a little bit more attention to the passing game and limits a little bit of those touches to Najee Harris here, end of the season. They want to try to keep him fresh. They don't want to run him into the ground. He got a ton of touches earlier in the season. Hopefully we get boosted efficiency with the decreased numbers, because then we don't really see that big of a drop-off. So for Najee Harris, I still got him sitting here at number 5. Number 6, Sir Nicholas Chubb, Cleveland Browns, Sunday Night Football against the Baltimore Ravens. And a lot of people will look at this one and say, hey, what about Kareem Hunt, though? Kareem Hunt is back. And sure, he's been activated, but that does not mean that he's going to play. And if he does play, how much do we actually see him in his first game back? They don't want to just rush him back and lose him for the end of the season. I'm still seeing a heavy dosage this week of Nick Chubb, and that's why I got him sitting at number 6. Number 7, Joe Mixon, Cincinnati Bengals, going up against those Pittsburgh Steelers. And Joe Mixon has been a man on a mission. He's finding the end zone. He's active in the passing game. He's running between the tackles with great efficiency. This is exactly what we love to see from Joe Mixon. Got him at 7. Number 8, DeAndre Swift. He may not be catching balls out of the backfield anymore, but he sure is running them a lot on the ground, averaging a great yards per carry, had over 130 yards over the last 2 weeks, and now he gets a matchup going up against the Chicago Bears in which he can be utilized both through the air and on the ground. Love the efficiency. Got him at 8. Number 9, Zeke Elliott, Dallas Cowboys, going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. A great matchup, but we know Zeke not 100% either. How banged up is he? Do we see more Tony Pollard this week? If we don't have CeeDee Lamb and we don't have Amari Cooper, do they just focus on removing Zeke from the game plan? Does the defense, and he really struggles. That's why I got him dropped down a few spots right here to number 9. Number 10 then is David Montgomery. He's got a juicy matchup going up against the Detroit Lions. You always start your running backs going up against the Detroit Lions because the Detroit Lions absolutely suck. Hoping for a lot of touches this week from one Demont, who's really not sharing the backfield. Got him at number 10. 11, A.J. Dillon, Green Bay Packers. He's going up against the Los Angeles Rams, which is not ideal, but he's not splitting touches with anyone either, with still no Aaron Jones in that backfield, so the volume should be there. Hopefully he can find the end zone this week. Got him at 11. Number 12, this is where I put Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants. He's going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. The ceiling may not be there in this type of offense for Saquon Barkley, but the involvement in the passing game, catching all 6 of his targets last week, really helps boost the floor up, and that's why I got him sitting at 12. 13, this is where I slotted Cordero Patterson. Not a for sure 100% go as of yet, but he is going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend, and we saw this Atlanta offense absolutely struggle and do nothing without Cordero Patterson. He is their offense. He was close to playing last week, so if he plays this week, another top performance potentially, and if he's ruled 100% going into the weekend, he may even climb up these rankings, but for now, got him at 13. Which takes us down to 14. It's going to be regular season Lenny, Leonard Fournette, Tampa Bay Bucks, and a very difficult matchup for him going up against the Indianapolis Colts. But this is an offense that just provides too many scoring opportunities. Some were a little bit disappointed with his production in week 11, but he had a lot of big plays called back due to penalty. The guy is still the lead dog in this backfield, got him at 14. Number 15 then, Darrell Henderson, Los Angeles Rams. Difficult matchup for him going up against the Green Bay Packers. But one thing that we can say about Darrell Henderson is if we see the defense of the Green Bay Packers struggle anywhere, it's with the deep ball. If that's the case, we have plenty of options that can go deep in LA and potentially keep those boxes less stacked for one Darrell Henderson. That's why I got him at 15. 16 is Damian Harris, New England Patriots. Kind of saw a true 50-50 split with Ramondre Stevenson last week, coming back off of the concussion. Do we see a little bit of a bump in snaps this week? I anticipate so in a matchup going up against Tennessee. That's why I got Damian Harris at 16. 17 is James Robinson of the Jacksonville Jaguars. A pretty good matchup for him going up against the Atlanta Falcons, but J-Rob is just not 100% healthy, and he is 100% reliant on scoring touchdowns. Luckily, year-to-date, guy is scoring a lot of touchdowns and really saving fantasy days, but if he doesn't find the end zone, he's a disappointment, which makes him a little bit more risky. That's why I dropped him down to 17. Down we go to 18, Antonio Gibson, Washington football team. The volume is there, right? So we know the health perspective from one Antonio Gibson is a little bit better than it was before their bye week, but now he gets a great matchup against one of the worst run defenses in football, the Seattle Seahawks in primetime football on Monday night. That's why I got Antonio Gibson bumped up to 18. 19, Elijah Mitchell, still fingers crossed that he's back in the lineup because he's the best option they have in this backfield right now. We saw Trey Sermon, we saw Jeff Wilson Jr. last week pretty much struggle. Elijah Mitchell is somebody who's very dominant in this backfield due to the speed that he possesses. Kyle Shanahan loves that speed, so as long as he's back in the lineup in a matchup against Minnesota, got Elijah Mitchell at 19. 20 may be a surprise to some people. It's Miles Sanders, and really the only reason he's this high is because Jordan Howard is hurt, so we know there's going to be more volume going the way of Miles Sanders. Plus, it's a good matchup for him going up against the New York Giants. Got him at 20. 21 is Melvin Gordon coming off the bye week. Are the Denver Broncos still a true split in this backfield between him and Javonte Williams, but in a matchup going up against the Chargers allow a butt ton of points to opposing running backs, so I expect both these guys to get heavy volume. Got him at 21. 22 is Josh Jacobs, Las Vegas Raiders, going up against the Dallas Cowboys. Still dominating touches in this backfield. We're seeing less and less Kenyon Drake over the past few weeks. Don't really understand why, but they're committed to the volume of Josh Jacobs, especially in the passing game as well. That's why I got him at 22. 23, this is where I put Javonte Williams, just mentioned him with Melvin Gordon. 24 then, Myles Gaskin, Miami Dolphins, going up against the Carolina Panthers. I've seen people in the comment section before say, hey, this guy only performs every other week, so he's gonna be a bust this week. I see that trend, but I don't know if I'm willing to say that's something scientific or just plain dumb luck. So for Myles Gaskin in a matchup this week where he's still getting touches, the guy's averaging over 20 touches a game over the past few weeks. That needs to continue because that's why the Dolphins are winning ball games. Got him at 24. 25 then, Devontae Freeman, Baltimore Ravens, Sunday Night Football against the Browns, still the lead guy in this backfield. We saw Latavius Murray return last week, but we still saw Devontae Freeman get the bulk of the touches and the passing work and the goal line work. So that's why he's staying right here at 25. 26 is Ramondre Stevenson, mentioned him with Damian Harris, another guy who's going to see volume every single week, but he doesn't get the scoring opportunities. They're going to trend the way of Damian Harris. That's why I've dropped him down a few spots to 26. 27 is Mark Ingram, another guy that right now not entirely healthy for the New Orleans Saints. We're going to talk about Alvin Kamara here in a second. Tony Jones Jr. is a name to really pay close attention to because if we lose Mark Ingram, he's going to have a lot of value. 28 is Tony Pollard. He could move up in these rankings if Zeke is more limited or they lose CeeDee Lamb. If CeeDee Lamb is ruled out, I will bump up Tony Pollard because he's somebody who will see more work just due to the lack of options there in Dallas. 29, Ty Johnson. We know we have no Michael Carter. I would like to put Ty Johnson higher, but the problem is I don't trust head coach Robert Saleh to not use Tevin Coleman at times, which is going to limit the upside because it's not a high-producing backfield to begin with. So Ty Johnson is going to stay right here at 29. And then 30 is where everybody goes, what the hell is going on here? It's David Johnson of the Houston Texans. They have cut Phillip Lindsay there in Houston. David Johnson is the one that's receiving the passing work in this backfield. And it's a great matchup for them going up against the Jets because, once again, the Jets can't stop anybody. It's kind of a shot in the dark. It's a gamble. But I got David Johnson sitting right here at number 30. 31 is Nyheim Hines, Indianapolis Colts, going up against those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nyheim Hines' usage is all over the place. With Jonathan Taylor absolutely dominating, he's really hard to want to start on a weekly basis. That's why I've dropped him all the way down here to 31. 32, Kenyon Drake, mentioned him when we talked about Josh Jacobs. His usage has dropped, not overly involved in the passing game like we'd seen earlier in the season. Scoring opportunities aren't there, so I've dropped him to 32. 33 is Latavius Murray. We know Baltimore is still going to run the ball a lot, but he's losing those scoring opportunities and he's losing the pass catching work to Devontae Freeman. That's why I've dropped him down to 33. 34 then is J.D. McKissic. The matchup is just too good that I don't want to ignore this guy going up against the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football. Sure, the volume is going to go the way of Antonio Gibson, but I could still see this guy involved in the short passing game in a great matchup. Got him at 34. 35 is his opponent in that game. It's Alex Collins. I do not love this backfield. That's why we don't have these guys any higher. Alex Collins, DJ Dallas, Rashad Penny, they're all going to be active. They're all going to eat into each other's stealing. They're all going to get right around equal touches, and none of them are really going to do anything with it. That's why I got him down here at 35. 36 is Matt Breida, another one of these guys stuck in a three-headed backfield with Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. However, as of late, Matt Breida is the most explosive option in this backfield. Got him at 36. 37 is Rex Burkhead. Like I said, the matchup is just so great in Houston, and we know Rex Burkhead's been a guy that can go out and get right around 15 touches. Not going to do a whole lot with it, but if you're looking for a low-end flex, if you're buried with injuries, whatever it may be, Rex Burkhead's sitting at 37. 38 then, Ronald Jones, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, going up against the Indianapolis Colts, which is a difficult defense. We talked about that earlier when we were talking about Leonard Fournette, but he's a guy guy that's starting to get a little bit more usage. And here's the thing with Ronald Jones. He's very explosive. He's not a sucky running back. What sucks is his usage and their commitment to him, and that's why we do not like him. If this guy got consistent volume, if he got 15 to 20 touches a week, he'd be super high in these rankings, but he doesn't get it. He is explosive, though, and he can find the end zone. Got him at 38. 39, I guess the new lead running back in Tennessee, Dontrell Hilliard, at least from a pass catching perspective, we know they waived Adrian Peterson. We know about Donta Foreman is still there. Do we get back Jeremy McNichols? McNichols hadn't really done anything. Dontrell Hilliard performed well last week. It's just a huge mess in a game in which they're probably going to have to throw the ball because they're going to be losing. I'm going to go with Dontrell Hilliard here at 39. And then 40, this is where I just slotted in Alvin Kamara. Don't forget about Alvin Kamara. It doesn't sound like he's going to play. And if he doesn't, at number 40, this is where I'd put in Tony Jones Jr., depending on the status of one Mark Ingram. So it's just something we need to pay attention to close here for the Saints heading in to Thursday. Now, obviously, I'm going to post some screenshots for you from the Dr. Ethan Turner here before kickoff on Thursday. So be sure you're ready to check those out so you know what to do in the backfield of the New Orleans Saints. But that's going to wrap up the ranking show, right? We did the top 20 quarterbacks, our top 40 running backs here for Week 12 fantasy football. Hopefully, we're able to help you set your lineup before all the games on Thanksgiving. But once again, make sure you hit that like button, leave that comment below, because we're giving away this mystery pylon. I don't even know who signed this. It is signed by an NFL player. That's all I know. It's going to be fun to find out who's inside that box, though. Hopefully, whoever wins it sends me like a picture or tags me on Twitter or something so I can find out who that is. But leave that comment below, hit that like button. Hopefully, you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. We are very thankful for all of you out there in Headliner Nation. We would not be able to do what we do on a weekly basis without your support, and I can't thank you guys enough for all of it. So hopefully, you guys have a great Thanksgiving holiday. Hopefully, you enjoy your weekend. Maybe do some Black Friday shopping, whatever it is. Just know that over here, we are thankful for everything that you do for us. So hopefully you have a great rest of your day, a great week, and we'll talk to you later.